let's be clear about something right from the start. We're not talking about science fiction anymore. We're talking about artificial general intelligence, or AGI, and it is quickly becoming a very real, very strategic issue for businesses. So the real question isn't if it's going to arrive, but when. And more importantly, will you be ready when it does?
And this quote right here, it really hits the nail on the head. The timeline has completely collapsed. What everyone thought of as this far-off theoretical idea is now knocking on the door. For businesses, this means the clock is officially ticking on a massive, fundamental shift in how pretty much everything works.
So here's our game plan for this explainer. First, we're going to establish why AGI is such a big deal for businesses right now. Then, we'll dig into this hidden readiness gap that could trip a lot of folks up. After that, we'll get into the good stuff, the 3 pillars you need for modernization, some actual frameworks you can use to make it happen, and finally, we'll talk about how you can go from just reacting to this change to actually leading the charge. Okay, so what exactly are we getting ready for? It's so important for leaders to get this. AGI is not just a souped-up version of the AI tools we have today. Nope. We are talking about a completely different animal. And the difference is, well, it's huge. Today's AI, what we call narrow AI, is fantastic at one specific thing, like recognizing a cat in a photo or translating a sentence. But AGI, its whole deal is that it can adapt, it can learn, it can reason, and it can apply what it knows across all sorts of different tasks, a lot more like a person can. And that adaptability is why this is such a big deal. Gearing up for AGI isn't just about getting faster computers. A system that can reason and act on its own is going to stress test everything, your entire tech stack, your rulebooks, your corporate policies, and even just the basic way your teams work with these new intelligent systems. It's a top-to-bottom challenge. And that top-to-bottom challenge, well, it shines a big, bright light on a major problem that a lot of organizations just aren't seeing yet, a hidden readiness gap. And look, ignoring this isn't just a risk, it could be a complete deal breaker for the business. So as we're standing right here on the edge of this new era, what is the single biggest thing holding companies back? The answer might actually surprise you. The source material points to 3 huge bottlenecks. First, you've got these old-school infrastructures that are just way too clunky and slow for a system that's always learning. Second, there are these super rigid governance models that just can't keep up with how fast AGI moves. And third, and this is a classic problem, but with a whole new level of urgency, you've got data silos. AGI needs tons of high-quality, connected data to work, and silos just starve it. Okay, so seeing those bottlenecks is step 1. Step 2 is actually tearing them down. The way forward is a complete modernization strategy, and it's built on 3 main pillars. Now, at the very heart of the strategy is this idea the source calls the critical convergence. And what that means is you can't just fix the tech problem over here and then deal with the operations problem over there. For AGI to really work its magic, your technology, your operations, and your ethics all have to move forward together as one integrated system. So here's what that convergence actually looks like. Pillar 1 is infrastructure modernization. We're talking about shifting to flexible multi-cloud systems that can finally break down those data silos. Pillar 2 is adaptive risk governance, which is all about building compliance and safety rules that are dynamic and work in real time, right from the start. And finally, Pillar 3, cultural readiness. This is all about getting your people ready to work with AGI, not against it, through constant training and learning. But I know what you're thinking. A strategy is great, but how in the world do you actually do all this? Well, a plan is only as good as its execution, right? And that's where some established, real-world frameworks come in to help. And the great news is, you don't have to reinvent the wheel here. For your enterprise architecture, which is like the blueprint for all your tech, the TOGAF principles are a proven roadmap. And when it comes to managing the unique risks that come with AI, the NIST AI Risk Management Framework, or RMF, is a world-class guide for making sure your systems are trustworthy and responsible. So by using proven frameworks like these, rolling out AGI doesn't have to be some chaotic mess. It lets you follow a clear, structured path that manages risk, builds in responsibility, and seriously boosts your chances of success. All right, so we have the pillars and we have the frameworks. But this whole thing isn't just about preparing and adapting to change. The real goal here is to flip the script and see this entire challenge as a massive, once-in-a-generation opportunity to get ahead of the competition. This right here, This is the mindset that separates the followers from the leaders. The companies that get this right won't just make it through the AGI transition, they're the ones who are going to define what the future of their industries even looks like in this new AGI-powered economy. And when you follow this modernization strategy, you get some really tangible wins. You can finally pull together all that scattered data to get clear, powerful insights. With that solid foundation, you can then orchestrate these incredibly complex AGI workflows, all while baking in compliance from day one, not as an afterthought. You put all that together, and that's what positions you for real market leadership. And so, that leaves us with one last big question. The tech is moving forward, the timeline is speeding up, and the stakes could not be higher. The choice isn't really about if you're going to engage with AGI anymore, but how. So, will your organization just try to adapt? Or are you going to seize this